Welcome to this episode of In the Path. This is Maria.
And I'm Joseph.
In this episode, we will discuss a very important topic which has an influence on the way we look at life and the way we live it, and this is patience.
Yes, Maria. Patience is something that everyone knows, but its concept varies from one person to another.
That's true, Joseph. That is why we wanted to convey to the listeners the concept of patience, as perceived by Muslims, and how the noble Quran describes it to us.
So this is going to be a special episode because patience in the Quran is a comprehensive concept that is included in every action and is in fact a way of life. That is why it is mentioned a lot in the Quran.
Yes, that's true, because patience is special in the Quran and has obvious signs that make it distinguishable. Joseph, can you tell us about that?
Yes, sure. This is true, and one of the most important signs is that wherever it is mentioned, it is related to Allah, exalted be He, and connected with Him even when it concerns dealings between humans. Because Muslims act for Allah's sake, as stated in the Quran, but for your Lord be patient, and those who are patient seeking the face of their Lord.
What about types of patience?
Yes, Maria, anyone who looks for patience in the Quran will notice that it is to be found in 4 things.
Well, we'll start with the first one, Joseph.
The first type is patience in obeying Allah. The Quran mentioned this type in many places in the Quran, either explicitly in the text or by an implied meaning. And those who have believed and done righteous deeds, we will surely assign to them of paradise, elevated chambers beneath which rivers flow, wherein they abide eternally. Excellent is the reward of the righteous workers who have been patient and upon their Lord rely. Lord of the heavens and the earth and whatever is between them, so worship Him and have patience for His worship. And enjoin prayer upon your family and people, and be steadfast therein, meaning be patient in performing the prayer.
What is the second type of patience, Joseph?
The second type is patience in refraining from disobeying Allah.
You mean preventing one's soul from sins and desires?
Yes, Maria.
What are the verses that mention that?
But as for he who feared the position of his Lord and prevented the soul from unlawful inclination.
What does this mean?
It means those who are patient in refraining from disobeying Allah out of fear of Him will have paradise as a reward for their patience.
What about the third type of patience, Joseph?
The third type is patience in the face of trials. And we will surely test you with something of fear and hunger and a loss of wealth and lives and fruits. But give good tidings to the patient, who, when disaster strikes them, say, indeed we belong to Allah, and indeed to Him we will return.
And what is the last type of patience, Joseph?
The fourth and last type is patience in the face of the harm caused by others.
This is very difficult. Why don't you give us examples?
Yes, sure, Maria. You will surely be tested in your possessions and in yourselves, and you will surely hear from those who were given the scripture before you, and from those who associate others with Allah much abuse. But if you are patient and fear Allah indeed, that is of the matters worthy of resolve.
Is patience greater when a person is able to retaliate and mete out abuse and injustice, but is instead patient and does not do so because he is seeking reward from Allah?
Yes, Maria. In this case, he will have achieved the highest level of patience. And not equal are the good deed and the bad. Repel evil by that deed which is better, and thereupon the one whom between you and him is enmity will become as though he was a devoted friend. But none is granted it except those who are patient, and none is granted it except one having a great portion of good. And if you punish an enemy, O believers, punish with an equivalent of that with which you were harmed. But if you are patient, it is better for those who are patient. And whoever is patient and forgives, indeed that is of the matters worthy of resolve. There are many other verses.
This is beautiful. I will read the Quran so as to know those verses which talk about patience and other beautiful meanings. What you told us, Joseph, is a clear example of how the Quran is distinct from other books in its approach to patience and to how it is applied. But can you tell us about the most important thing that distinguishes patience in the Quran from what can be found in other books?
Yes, Maria, definitely. The most important thing that distinguishes patience in the Quran is the reward that those who are patient receive from Allah, as He has promised them several things. First, Allah said in the Quran that He loves them, and Allah loves the steadfast.
What about the second?
Second, Allah promised them that He would be with them, that He would help them to be patient, reward them for it, and make it easy for them, and that He would send down ease and mercy to the patient ones in proportion to the amount of hardship requiring patience that He sent down upon them. Allah, exalted be He, said, "For indeed with hardship will be ease. Indeed with hardship will be ease."
Is why we see Muslims enduring the most extreme conditions? Because Allah is with them?
Yes, Maria. This is stated explicitly in the Quran. Indeed, Allah is with the patient.
What is the effect of being with Allah, Joseph?
Allah's support for someone means that this person will be comfortable in his life, happy and content with it even in the most difficult circumstances. Whoever does righteousness, whether male or female, while he is a believer, we will surely cause him to live a good life, and we will surely give them their reward in the hereafter, according to the best of what they used to do. Give good tidings to the patient, who, when disaster strikes them, say, "Indeed we belong to Allah, and indeed to Him we will return." Those are the ones upon whom are blessings from their Lord and mercy, and it is those who are the rightly guided.
You mentioned two things. Is there something else that distinguishes patience in the Quran from other books?
Yes, Maria, it is the reward of those who are patient in the afterlife. Allah has promised them a great reward in paradise. Indeed, the patient will be given their reward without account, needing limit. And we will surely give those who were patient their reward according to the best of what they used to do. Those will be given their reward twice for what they patiently endured. We are given a description of a scene where the angels are welcoming those who were patient, and the angels will enter upon them from every gate, saying, "Peace," i.e., security be upon you for what you patiently endured, and excellent is the final home.
This is really special and beautiful. There is also mention of prophets in the Quran. Isn't that right, Joseph?
Yes, it is.
And what about their patience, Joseph?
Patience is one of the most important characteristics of prophets, and they were endowed with all four types of patience. The Quran told us about the conditions of the previous prophets and about their patience and the harm they had to endure from their people. And certainly were messengers denied before you, but they were patient over the denial, and they were harmed until our victory came to them. And none can alter the words, i.e., decrees of Allah. Their response to the harm caused to them by their people was by saying, "And we will surely be patient against whatever harm you should cause us. And upon Allah let those who would rely indeed rely." Some of them are mentioned by name and mention Ishmael and Idris and Dul-Kifl. All were of the patient. So be patient, O Muhammad, as were those of determination among the messengers. And these are Noah, Abraham, Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad. May Allah's blessing and peace be upon them. The words uttered by Jacob in Surah Yusuf when he lost his son Yusuf were, "So patience is most fitting, and Allah is the one sought for help against that which you describe."
This is really beautiful. Thank you, Joseph. Dear listeners, from what was mentioned before, we understand that patience in the Quran is an integrated approach, a way of life summed up in preventing oneself from all evil, in being patient while performing all good, and in enduring the harm caused by others so as to seek Allah's pleasure. Allah will help whoever behaves in this way and will be with him in this world, making him, as a result, feel comfort and peace of mind, even in the most difficult circumstances, as is the case with the Muslims we see today. Indeed, the Quran is a great book, so I urge you to read it or read the translation of its meanings published by the Noor International Centre in the following link. You will find the best translations in the most widely spread languages of the world, as well as an index of topics to be found in the Quran, such as patience as well as other issues, thus enabling you to read the verses concerned with a specific topic. Therefore, I invite you to read, search, and share with others. I leave you in peace.